It's his pride and joy. What is that? Is that a bag? It is no secret that the car market today is nothing like what it used to be a couple years ago. If you have been a vintage or classic car enthusiast for quite some time now, you've noticed that cars have gone up in value and in popularity. So today we're going to be looking at one of the cheapest E30s in our local market here in Utah that my buddy Braden just bought. Braden is a longtime E30 lover. He used to have a really sick turbo S50 car. He got out of E30s for whatever reason. I don't know why, but he is back. So let's see. I'm smiling about this. Let's see what he has to say about this car.
So bad.
He doesn't sound very excited.
I've tried not to look at it in the daytime. Like if I want to look at something, I'm like, it's like midnight. I'll go out and check it out.
Make sure it's dark.
I haven't
Your front
watched
lights don't come on.
Because I feel like it'll look worse. Yeah, it's just.
Okay, so let's be positive here, okay?
Yeah.
Because
positivity.
There's a cool story to this car. I mean, I guess first things first, if you guys haven't noticed, we're looking at a 325e. I'm trying to think of like what is worse about this situation.
It's automatic. It's an early model. It's an E. It's a 4-door. It's rusty. There's not a clean panel on the entire car.
In the intro, I was talking about how you used to have this really sick S50 turbocharged 2-door black car, which by the way, I'm gonna put a link in the description to a pretty cool video that kind of shows off the car.
I think it's been just over a year since I sold that car.
Okay, which you regret greatly.
Yes.
So then Mike and I, we have been working on trying to get Braden to buy another car, and I kind of feel partially responsible, kind of like peer pressure, so to say.
You guys are 100% responsible.
Yeah.
Like, this car has popped up for sale since I sold it like 5 or 6 times. And every time I'd like nudge my wife and be like, hey, that's the car, you know, we should buy it back. And every time she's just like, do you actually want it back? And I'm like, no, I don't. And then these guys, you know, have been bugging me to get into another E30, and it popped up, and I was like, hey, this is my chance. I got to do it.
So it has sentimental value.
It has
That's
sentimental
what
value,
matters.
but I sold it the first time because it was too much work. And getting it back now, it's like way worse.
Oh my gosh.
Way worse, yeah. But I'm excited. I'm super stoked, actually.
Okay, so let's have a look at it. So walk me through the highlights of the vehicle, the positive things.
The positives.
Trick question, there are no positives about the vehicle.
I don't know, actually. When I owned it the first time, I put a 410 LSD in it because I was planning on doing like a 2.7i stroker. I put the lowering spring suspension on when I owned it before.
What are purple springs mean?
Volkland?
Yeah, probably.
Is that what it is?
They were good when I put it on the car originally.
Uh-huh. So it is low. It is lowered.
Yeah.
It has a limited slip differential in it, which is cool.
Yeah.
Technically everything is there, right? It's a complete car. We're not missing any. Are we missing interior panels or anything?
The kick panel on the driver's side. Classic. The door. I think somebody did something with the seats.
Yeah, I was gonna say that looks like a 2-door seat, isn't it? You can flip that one forward and back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might have been me. Does the glove box work? Oh,
it does.
It's
and it has a light.
white glove.
Oh, that is
didn't
not.
even know
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I probably shouldn't be touching that. Honest. I'm pretty sure that's off a gun. Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody did something in this car that they're not supposed to.
Yeah. There's
Overall, okay, so you've got a complete 4-door E30. That's positive, right?
no. Okay.
The trunk doesn't work.
Let's try not to break the key in here. Okay. Ooh.
It smells like there is moisture in here. Oh yeah.
Just a little.
Yikes. What is that? Is that a bag of something that's like left over in there?
Screwdriver test. Ooh.
Oh.
Yikes.
Just careful, you might punch a hole right through the metal.
Okay. All right, so that is questionable. Do you got a spare or anything?
Oh, hey! So that's the other thing I'm kind of pissed about. I sourced a somewhat clean set of IS weaves, 14-inch IS weaves. They were on the car when I sold it. When I went to buy it back, I was like, hey, do you still have those IS weaves? Yeah, anyways, it's back on bottle caps.
Hey, here's something cool though. It looks like all the little lights work. I noticed the glove box works, the trunk light works.
Nice.
That's pretty neat.
That's actually like a first for me.
So I'm assuming electrical wise, it's not in terrible shape if stuff works.
It has like a newer deck, but looking at the wiring.
We have experience with people messing decks up, making it really, really bad.
Doesn't have a hood latch.
Somebody apparently decided to just rip it out, I guess.
Sweet.
Well, if it's
So
not
how do
working,
you
just take it out?
How do you open your hood?
I haven't opened it yet.
You haven't opened the hood?
Let's do it.
So this is a first right here.
Uh-oh.
Is it long enough?
Yeah, it's long enough. It's just... Oh, it worked.
Mike, look at you, man. Okay.
So it doesn't have the arm is there. It's just not hooked up to the hood. Okay. Never been cleaned before.
It's been sitting somewhere for a while.
Under a tree.
Nice. Okay.
The radiator looks great.
I will say, I'm actually. Oh wow. Yeah, what is going on here?
Nice.
So we got.
I can't see where it's coming from over there. But I mean, yeah, it's there.
So
Stuff's there.
stuff's there. Initial impression of the engine bay. What are you thinking here?
I want to leave it alone, but my OCD is just like rip everything out and start over. Cause like, you know, zip ties are always a good sign when there's zip ties
on your
there.
throttle
Oh,
cable,
okay, that one's
especially.
broken.
Does your throttle feel a little loose when you're driving it?
So
just got a little
so
bit.
that's got an adjustment. You know, it needs a little bit.
Yeah, you
of-
got like the rubber grommet
yeah,
that's
it's just
shot
totally
and everything.
busted off, and that's why it's zip tied on there. I didn't do that.
What is
okay?
this right here?
It's an old. It's only on the E's. It's like a. It's like an altitude.
Oh, really?
Sensor. I don't.
What is
I don't think
this?
it does anything.
Well, that's like coming right out of the harness.
Oh, this is the cover for this.
There you go.
Okay.
Hey, there's another thing. You're not missing.
That looks better. We'll do that. Okay. Yeah, it's a car.
It's your car. It's your car. This right here is our current market KSL. The very cheapest, sorry, my cracked screen. The very cheapest E30 you can buy, as you can see at the top there, is $3,200. That is actually pretty cheap. I haven't seen one for that price in a while, but even this, and I'm not meaning to call anybody out, but we're looking at a 1986 325. This thing looks like it's pretty beat as well. Mismatched panels. I mean, it's maybe got less rust, but it's still not a very nice car. I can't even tell what is going on. There's so much aftermarket stuff in the engine bay. Long story short, $9 grand for this car. There's no doubt that that car is pretty beat up. There's definitely worse out there, but I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. He paid $2,000 for that car. I don't know if he will tell you. I'm gonna go ask him right now in front of the camera, but just between you and I, he bought it for $2 grand. It does hurt to buy cars in that condition for that kind of money, and there's definitely other markets in the United States and the world, of course, that are less hot than Utah. Utah is an absolute E30 hotbed. There's a lot of enthusiasts here. There's a lot of people that really love these cars and a lot of people that are building really nice E30s here in Utah. So finding a car here in Utah that is actually in decent shape and cheap is literally impossible. So let's go see what he tells us about the price. All right, Braden, so do we want to talk price?
We can.
Okay.
It's gonna be really depressing. I paid $2,000 for this. Yeah, so he knew that the car had sentimental value to me.
Okay.
So I was like already hooked at that point, you know, and he's
Sure.
like, oh, I got somebody who's gonna pay more for it. And I was like, how?
I was gonna say, when did you own this car?
So I've been married for 3 years. That's my wife and I drove this car when we were first married too. So like, you know, that's what made me do it again. But yeah, 3 years ago, I paid him $400. I took it home, I washed it, I got it running the next day. It wasn't running. And then, I had an engine for it. I had all this stuff for it. I was planning on doing this build, and then I started to get into it, and I was like, maybe this car's too far gone.
3 years ago.
3 years ago, and it's way worse now. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I want you guys to think about this. Like, and again, I'm not trying to make you feel worse or the seller or anybody, But you have to put yourself through this situation. He bought the car for $400 back in the day. The car's in worse shape now, and he bought it back for 5 times the value. Like, that is insane. That is depressing. I mean, from an enthusiast standpoint, that is truly depressing to be going through that. I felt it. I've bought cars in the recent, months and years, and the prices are just, I mean, it's insane. But
yeah.
So you were saying you had all these plans that was too far gone.
Yeah, I had plans just to make it like a really cool, clean car that, my wife and I could go cruise around in. But at the time, I also had a couple other cars,
right.
And so it was kind of like, it's not really worth saving. And I guess we'll find out if it is or if it isn't, because I'm planning on just diving into everything. It barely runs, has an exhaust leak. The tires are dry rotted, leaks oil, coolant.
This gets worse and worse.
The windshield wipers don't work. The trunk is broken. The hood latch is broken.
Okay, let me stop you right there, Braden. I know what's going to make you feel better.
What?
Let's see if it can do a burnout.
Let's try.
Let's try it. First of all, let's start it, because I want to hear it start.
Oh, gosh.
And then let's try to do a burnout in it.
Again. Nope.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's dead?
Yeah.
Woohoo! Oh yeah, that is a gnarly exhaust leak.
Yeah, I drove it like 10 miles home and was sick from the exhaust
Oh, you can
fumes.
smell it in the cabin?
Yeah, it's
bad.
coming in
Oh,
through
that's
like
bad.
this quality area right here.
Oh my gosh. This is the test if you should keep it or
Are
not.
my headlights on? Are we good? You want headlights on? Where's the safe zone? I don't want to kill anyone. Will an auto E do a burnout? I think this might be more fun than my turbo car.
It seems to it seems to handle pretty
It's
good.
so
That was
sketchy.
smooth, man. I like it. Do you want to do another one? Show us a little bit in some.
It's funny because it's like my S50 car would do this, but like fast forward times like 10.
Oh yeah,
So
it's
this
like
just feels
scary.
like slow motion.
Yeah.
LSD life right there.
What are we leaking?
Trail.
Oh yeah, there is.
There's a trail.
More.
Gas gauge doesn't work. I don't know if the temp gauge works, so it could be fine.
That's unfortunate.
So yeah, it's had a rough life.
I think we have to look at the car a little bit more in detail before you make any type of plans.
Yeah.
So I think for this video, we might just wrap it up, and
Yeah.
if the people like it, we can revisit this car.
Definitely.
All right, well, so that wraps it up for the worst E30 and the cheapest E30 that Braden could find here in Utah. It is pretty depressing, but at the same time, you can obviously always have fun with every car out there. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Let me know if you want updates on Braden's car. I think we're gonna have to do some in-depth exploring of how far gone this car is to see if he even has the motivation to try to do anything with it. So anyways, leave me a comment, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and follow along on potentially Braden's adventure with this very, very sentimentally valuable car to him. See you guys.